Jai Shishi Guru Garanga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Juki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Juki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shila Guru Deva Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai, Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashatarashata Shishimar, Bhakti Pragyan, Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Wait, I spaced out for a second. Let me start over. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad, Shrimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashatarashata Shishimar, Bhakti Pragyan, Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashatarashata Shishimar, Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupāda ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Bhāgavata Śrīla Gaura Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Śrī Rupa Gauḍīya Guru Varga ki jai. Śrī Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Śrī Jiva Gopal Patadash Raghunath Sharda Gosvāmī Prabhu ki jai. Śrī Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Śrī Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākura ki jai. Prem se koho Śrī Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Śrī Advaita Gadadhar Śrīvasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Śrī Kshetra Mandal, Gaura Mandal, Vraja Mandal, Mathura Vṛndāvana Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Śrī Radha Kund Shama Kund ki jai. Śrī Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Śrī Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Śrī Bhakti Devi ki jai. Śrī Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Śrī Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Śrī Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad ki jai. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Śrīla Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura ki jai. Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki jai. Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Goswami Prabhupāda ki jai. What is it? His Gauḍīya Bhāṣya ki jai. Śrī Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Śrī Saparshad Śrī Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Śrī Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol, everybody. Let me see all who's there. Oh, Hari Bol, Mani Manjari Didi. And I don't know who's watching there on YouTube, but pranams to you. And yeah, so today we begin our reading of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata. Yesterday we read the song by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Goswami Prabhupada at the beginning of his Gauḍīya Bhāṣya commentary, but we didn't actually start reading Caitanya-bhāgavata. Now we're starting today. But before we start, I was thinking it would be nice to do a kirtan for Mahaprabhu. Actually, every day I want to do a different kirtan for Mahaprabhu. So I'll share my screen, and I haven't chosen a kirtan, which kirtan to do yet. You can give me any, we'll do any Mahaprabhu kirtan. Actually, maybe since today's the first day, we should do one Gurudev kirtan. We can do this one, Gurudev Kabe Tava Karuna Prakashe, because we're beginning this, so we should first get Śrīla Gurudev's, our Śrīla Gurudev's blessings and pray for his mercy that we can approach this Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata. So I'm going to share my screen now, and let me find it. How did it start? Kabe Tava. There it is. Okay. Okay, I'll read the translation and then we can start. Oh, Gurudev. I'm just seeing the comments. Oh, YouTube doesn't work for you, huh, Mani Manjari? Okay, well, actually, I prefer when people join on Zoom, so. All right. Gurudev Kabe Tava Karuna Prakashe. Oh, Gurudev, When, by the manifestation of your mercy, with a deep conviction that Sri Gauranga's Leelas are eternal truth, will I chant the name of Hari and wander throughout the forest of Godrum with the aspiration to witness those Leelas. Nitai, Gauranga, Advaita, Srivas, and Gadadhar, these 5 personalities will flood the entire universe with the nectar of Sri Krishna's name by performing Maha Sankirtan. I shall hear the pastimes of dancing and of mridangas playing with my own ears. Constantly beholding the sweetness of these pastimes, I will float in the flood of prem. Upon losing my vision of these jewel-like pastimes, I shall cry out, Ha Gauranga! The materialist will proclaim me to be a madman and kick dust at my body, or they'll throw dust at my body. O Gurudev, Gurudev, O Gurudev, Kabe Tava Karuna Prakashe Gurudev, Kabe Tava Karuna Prakashe Gurudev, Kabe Tava Karuna Prakashe. Shri Gauranga Lila Hoya Nitya Tattva E Sudrida Vishvase. Shri Gauranga Lila Hoya Nitya Tattva E Sudrida Vishvase. Hari Hari Boli Godruma Kanane, Hari Hari Boli Godruma Kanane, Brahmi Bodarshana Ashe, Brahmi Bodarshana Ashe. Hari Hari Boli Godruma Kanane, Brahmi Badarshana Ashe, Brahmi Badarshana Ashe. Gurudev, O Gurudev, Nitai Gauranga Yadvaita Srivas, Nitai Gauranga Advaita Srivas, Gadadhara Pancha Jan, Gadadhara Pancha Jan, Krishna Nama Rase Bhasa Bejagar, Krishna Nama Rase Bhasa Bejagar, Gauri Maha Sankirtana, Gauri Maha Sankirtan. Nartana Vilasa Mridanga Vadan, Nartana Vilas Mridanga Vadan, Shuni Boyapana Kane, O Shuni Boyapana Kane, Dekhiya Dekhiya Śrīla Madhuri দেখিয়া দেখিয়া Śrīla madhuri ভাসিব প্রেমের বানে ভাসিব প্রেমের বানে না দেখি আবার Śrīla রতনা কান্দিহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলি না দেখি আবার Śrīla রতন কান্দিহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলি আমারে বিষয়ে ও পাগল বলিয়া আমারে বিষয়ে পাগল বলিয়া আঙ্গেতে দিবে কধুলি আঙ্গেতে দিবে কধুলি আমার বিষয়ে পাগল বলিয়া আঙ্গেতে দিবে কধুলি আঙ্গেতে দিবে কধুলি তব করুণা প্রকাশে গুরুদেব কবে তব করুণা প্রকাশে শ্রী গৌরাঙ্গ লীলা হয়নে তত্ত্ব এ সুদৃঢ় বিশ্বাসে শ্রী গৌরাঙ্গ লীলা হয়নে তত্ত্ব সুদৃঢ় বিশ্বাসে হরি হরি বলি গোদ্রুম কাননে হরি হরি বলি গোদ্রুম কাননে ভ্রমিব দর্শন আসে ভ্রমিব দর্শন আসে হরি হরি বলি গোদ্রুম কাননে ভ্রমিব দর্শন আসে ভ্রমিব দর্শন আসে জয় গুরুদেবা জয় গুরুদেবা গুরুদেবা জয় গুরুদেবা জয় গুরুদেবা 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 জয় গুরুদেবা হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে জয় সচ্চিদানন্দ জয় গৌর হরে সচ্চিদানন্দ জয় গৌর হরে জয় সচ্চিদানন্দ গৌর হরে সচ্চিদানন্দ জয় গৌর হরে জয় নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল নিতাই গৌর প্রেমানন্দে হরি হরি বল
হরি হরি বল
হরি বল Hare Krishna Kishore Krishna Prabhu and Satya Mataji. Dandavat pranams to you both. And let's see, is it and Govinda Saha, Radhe Radhe Dandavat Pranam. And everybody else who's watching, there's 8 other people watching. I don't know where or who. But yes, pranams to everybody here. So let me share my screen again. And we will now start. One second, let me just change the settings here. All right, so now I'm turning on noise suppression because there's kirtan going on in the background outside. Okay, so today we are actually starting Caitanya-bhāgavata. Yesterday we just read the, so as I mentioned before, we just read the invocation, the Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura's kind of like Maṅgalācaraṇa song. And now we're going to begin the actual reading. But first, before we start reading, we'll do Maṅgalācaraṇa and also recite these verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita, glorifying Caitanya-bhāgavata and Śrīla Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura. So 1 second, I'm just drinking some water. Okay. Maṅgalācaraṇa. Prayers invoking auspiciousness. Ajñānatimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Śrī Guruve namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ajanulambita bhujo kanakavadato sankirtanai kapitaro kamalaya-taksho vishwambharo dvijavaro yugadharma palo vande jagat priyakaro karunavataro. We're going to be going through these 5 verses today that we're doing in the Maṅgalācaraṇa. We're going to read the Gauḍīya Bhāṣya commentary on them today. Namastrikala satyaya jagannatha sutaya cha sabhrityaya saputraya sakalatraya te namaha. Avatirno sakarunyo parichinno sarishvaro Śrī Krishna Caitanya Nityanando Dvau Bhrataro Bhaje. Sajayati Vishuddha Vikrama Kanakabha Kamalaya Tekshana Varajanu Vilambi Sharbhujo Bahudha Bhakti Rasa Bhinartaka. Jayati Jayati Deva Krishna Chaitanya Chandra Jayati Jayati Kirtis Tasya Nitya Pavitra Jayati Jayati Bhrityas Tasya Vishveshamurte Jayati Jayati Nrityam Tasya Sarva Priyanam. Adya Chaitanya Priya Goshtir Charane Ashesha prakare mora danda paraname tabe bando Śrī Krishna Caitanya Maheshwar Navadipe avatar nama Vishwambhar. Tavai vasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya devi tvam Nayamang charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparada lakshai kshiptashtakamadhitaranga madhe kripa maitvam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charanarvindam. Bhaja Śrī Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, now we're reading the glories of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata and of Śrīla Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 8, verses 33 to 42. You can either say the Bengali with me or read the translation, whatever you like. I'm not going to read the translation today for this. Ore mura loka shuno Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Mahima Jate Jani Beshaka, Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohe Veda Vyas, Chaitanya Lila Vyas Vṛndāvana Das, Vṛndāvana Dāsa Koilo Chaitanya Mangal. Jahara Shravane Nashre Sarva Amangal, Chaitanya Nitar Jate Janiye Mahima, Jate Jani Krishna Bhakti Siddhanter Sima, Bhagavate Jata Bhakti Siddhanter Sar, Likhiyachen Iha Jani Koriya Udhar, Chaitanya Mangala Shuni Jadi Pashandi Javan, Sheho Maha Vaishnava Hoy Tatokon, Manushe Rachite Nare Aiche Grantha Dhanya, Vṛndāvana Dasa Mukhe Bhakta Śrī Caitanya, Vṛndāvana Dasa Pare Koti Namaskar, Aiche Grantha Korite Ho Tari Lo Sangsar, Narayani Chaitanyar Uchishta Bhajan, Tar Garbhe Janmila Śrī Dasa Vṛndāvan, Tar ki Arbhuta Chaitanya Charita Varnan, Jahara Shravane Shuddha Koilo Tribhuvan. Now, this verse is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 4:5. Sahaje vichitra madhur Chaitanya vihar, Vṛndāvana dasa mukhe amriter dhar. All right, so now we will begin. Usually this time will be set for a devotee here, whoever wants to summarize what we read previously. If enough people want to do it, then we can give people like different days of the week to give us their own summary of the previous chapter or previous chapters. They can just say it in their own words or whatever part stood out to them. But today, since we haven't established that, and I think tomorrow also maybe we might not do it because just because I haven't been able to prepare anything. Actually, I probably don't need to mention this, but whatever, I'm just going to. Yesterday and the night before, there's so many things going on. I ended up going to sleep at past 1 o'clock in the morning and waking up at 4. So I've had less than 3 hours of sleep, 2 days in a row. And I'm starting to, some unexpected things came up, publication things, and I had a meeting with somebody for 2.5 hours. And anyways, all a bunch of things. And now I'm feeling a bit like zombie-ish, but anyways, I can need to sit up. But from tomorrow onwards, I'm going to get an early night's sleep tonight, I promise. And I will, and I'd like to prepare also before the reading so that, today I didn't actually prepare anything. I just know that I'm going to read all the Maṅgalācaraṇa verses. So throughout this reading, if anybody has any point, like anything that stood out to them or anything that they want to discuss further, since we have a good amount of time to read today, then just let me know. And you can use the raise hand function and we can, any point you want to mention, just don't hesitate. All right. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so yesterday we read Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata. We read this beautiful song by Śrīla then now today we are going to start with the Katha Sar. Katha Sar means the synopsis. It gives the essence of the chapter. And I think Srivas told me that actually all the Katha Sars at the beginning of each chapter was written by Śrīla Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. So yeah, that's interesting, huh? This first chapter is in the Bengali book, the topic. There aren't actually chapter names in the Bengali book. Each chapter is just like Pratama Adhyay, Dvitiya Adhyay, Tritiya Adhyay, Chaturthi, like that. But there's a section there. It says topics, and so that's what these titles are. It's the topics, and so the topic for this in Bengali was Śrī Gaur Lila Sutra. So a sutra of Gauranga's pastimes, a summary of Gauranga's pastimes. The first 5 verses of this chapter are the Maṅgalācaraṇa. Oh, one second, let me just write in our WhatsApp group. How come? One second. There, I'm just gonna write in our WhatsApp group. Now beginning. Okay, there. Okay, so the first 5 verses of this chapter are the Maṅgalācaraṇa, or auspicious invocation verses. In the first verse, the author offers his respects to both Śrī Caitanya-Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. In the second verse, he offers obeisances to only Śrī Caitanya-Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the third verse, the author discloses the confidential knowledge that Śrī Caitanya-Mahaprabhu is non-different from Śrī Krishna, the son of Yashoda, and that Nityananda Prabhu is non-different from Śrī Balaram, the son of Rohini. In the fourth verse, the author glorifies the form, qualities, and pastimes of Śrī Chaitanya Chandra. In the fifth verse, the author glorifies the pastimes and characteristics of Śrī Chaitanya's devotees. In the beginning of the book, prayers are offered to the devotees, and the worship of the devotees is described. And the worship of devotees is described as superior to the worship of the Supreme Lord. The author then offers obeisances to the original Sankarshan, Śrī Nityananda Baladev, who is not only his spiritual master, but who in his incarnation as Sankarshan, or Ananta, serves Śrī Krishna Chaitanya in 10 different forms, and who as Shesh constantly glorifies the qualities of Śrī Krishna Chaitanya with his thousands of mouths as he holds the universes on his heads. Śrī Nityananda Prabhu is worshipable by even Lord Mahadev, the greatest of the demigods. Therefore, he is Jagat Guru, the spiritual master of the entire universe. And only by his mercy can one attain the eternal service of Śrī Krishna Chaitanya. The author also establishes that Lord Balaram's Ras Lila is eternal, like that of Lord Krishna. And he cites evidence from the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in order to refute opposing views, which are contrary to the conclusions of the scriptures. While describing the glories of Lord Balaram, the author explains that although Balaram is non-different from Krishna, the son of Maharaj Nanda, he nevertheless serves Krishna by accepting various forms, such as his friend, brother, chamar, bed, house, umbrella, clothes, ornaments, and seat. Are those 10 different? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, that was 9, right? Friends is 1, brother, chamar, bed, house, umbrella, clothes, ornaments, and seat. Okay, I thought it said he serves in 10 different ways. Anyways, we'll see when we begin reading this section. The truths regarding Nityananda Baladev, like those of Gaur Krishna, are difficult for even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva to understand. In his form as Shesh, Lord Balaram supports the entire universe and constantly glorifies the characteristics of Lord Krishna with his thousand mouths. Śrī Nityananda Prabhu is that same Lord Balaram. In other words, Śrī Baladev, who is the original Sankarshan, is Lord Nityananda. Other than by taking shelter of his lotus feet, there is no means for a living entity to gain freedom from material existence and attain the service of Gaura Krishna. The author composed Śrī Caitanya-Mangal, or Bhagavat, by the order and mercy of Śrī Nityananda Prabhu. He did not exhibit any pride by presenting this great work. Rather, he humbly states that living entities who are under the clutches of Maya cannot possibly describe by their own endeavor the topics of the Lord, who is the controller of Maya. Out of his causeless mercy, the Supreme Lord personally manifests in the heart of a living entity who has received the mercy of the spiritual master. In this book, the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu have been described in 3 divisions. 1, the Adi Khanda, mainly comprising the Lord's scholastic pastimes. 2, the Madhya Khanda, mainly comprising the inauguration of the Sankirtan movement. And 3, the Antya Khanda, mainly comprising the Lord's distribution of the holy names as a sannyasi in Nilachal. This chapter concludes with a summary of the contents of the entire book. Also, at the beginning of this Caitanya-bhāgavata, there is Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupāda. He writes a long introduction, and also he gives a summary of the life of Srila Vṛndāvana Ṭhākura. And so if you would like to, I actually made a video for that. If you'd like to see it, it's on my personal YouTube channel. You'll see it in the video section. It's like a gray thumbnail. Not a gray thumbnail, I mean a yellow thumbnail. All right, so 1 second. I want to see if there's a way I can make the view there. Just moving this out of the way. Okay, great. Okay, so now we begin with verse 1. I just want to quickly check the comments though on YouTube just to see who's all there. Hare Krishna, Kishore Prabhu, Pradyumna Prabhu, Mantaramurti Mataji, Indira Mataji, and Rup Manjari Didi. Okay, it's just you, no Nitai. All right. All right, pranams to all of you. Hare Krishna. Okay, so you can all recite this with me. Ajanulambita bhujo kanakavadato sankirtanai kapitaro kamalaya-taksho vishwambharo dijavaro yugadharma palo vande jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro. Also, if anybody wants, in our Caitanya-bhāgavata discussion group, if you want to try to memorize this verse, you can post your recitation of this verse by memory in the WhatsApp group. It's called Caitanya-bhāgavata Discussions. If you want to join that group, let me know. But yeah, I'd like to memorize key verses in this book with you, if anybody else is into doing that. Okay, so the translation for text 1. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Śrī Nityananda Prabhu, whose arms extend down to their knees, who have golden yellow complexions, and who inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Their eyes resemble the petals of a lotus flower. They are the maintainers of the living entities, the best of the Brahmanas, the protectors of religious principles. For this age, the benefactors of the universe, and the most merciful of all incarnations. I just want to break this down. So it helps me to do this so that when we do the Maṅgalācaraṇa every day before our reading, we can actually know what we're saying. So ajanu lambita bhujo. Bhujo means their arms. Ajanu lambita. It goes to the janu means thigh, and ajanu means to the end of the thigh, right? So basically to their knees. Their arms extend down to their knees. Ajanu lambita bhujo. Their arms extend down to their knees. Kanaka avadato. Kanaka means gold. And what does avadato mean? I guess it means complexion. Avadato. Then Sankirtanaika Pitaro. They are the fathers of Sankirtan. Sankirtanaika, they're the exclusive fathers. Eka. They are the exclusive fathers of Sankirtan. Kamala Yataksho. They have, Kamala means lotus, and lotus-like what? Ayataksho means eyes. They have lotus-like eyes. No, Kamala means lotus flower. Ayata means petals, maybe? I don't know, I have to look that up. And then Aksho means eyes. So lotus petal-like eyes, I guess. Vishvambharo. So this, whenever you see anything in Sanskrit ending with O, like AU like that, generally it means it's in the dual case. And so it's saying the two Vishvambars, not just one Vishvambar. So we'll find out about that in the commentary. Why does it say two Vishvambars? And Dvijavaro, they are the most exalted of Brahmanas. Yuga Dharma Palo. What does it say here for Palo? They're the protectors of religious principles of the age, of the Yuga Dharma Palo. They protect the religion of the age. Vande, I offer my respectful obeisances, Jagat Priyakaro, to those lords who are very dear to the world. Oh, here it says the benefactors of the universe. Interesting. Vande Jagat Priyakaro, so who are the benefactors of the universe. They do pleasing activities for the universe. Karunavataro, who have descended to bestow compassion. They are the incarnation of ecstasy. Karunavataro. Here it says, they are the most merciful of all incarnations. Karunavataro. Okay, so now we kind of know what the words mean if you ever want to memorize this verse. And if you're too shy to share in our group, you could also send it to me personally. All right, so now we begin the Gauḍīya Bhāṣya, the commentary by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupāda. Hare Krishna, Gargaraj ji, Dandavat Pranams, Sudevi Didi, and Ganga Mataji. Hare Krishna. Gauḍīya Bhāṣya. In this first verse of the Maṅgalācaraṇa, the forms of Śrī Gaura and Śrī Nityananda are described. They have long arms that stretch to their knees, ajanu. Their bhuja extends to their knees, ajanu. Their complexions are like gold, and their eyes are like the petals of a lotus flower. These two brothers have been described and adored as the inaugurators of the Sankirtan movement, the protectors of religious principles for this age, the maintainers of the living entities, the benefactors of the universe, and the best of the Brahmanas, and the most merciful of all incarnations. So for Sankirtanaika Pitaro means, it's translating Pitaro as inaugurators. I was thinking that they are the fathers, but I guess father, inaugurator is the same thing. And they're Yuga Dharma Palo. They are the protectors of the religious principles of the age. Vishvambharo, they are the maintainers of the living entities. Jagat Priyakaro, they are benefactors of the universe. Dvijavaro, they are the best of the Brahmanas. And Karunavataro, they are the most merciful of all incarnations. Śrī Gaur Hari and Śrī Nityananda are the bestowers of the Maha Mantra. They are the spiritual masters of the universe and the fathers of the pure chanting of the holy names. They are both benefactors of the universe because they preach the principles of Jive Doya, compassion for all living entities. They are addressed as Karuna and Vishvambar, merciful and the maintainers of the universe, because they have preached the religious principles for the age of Kali in the form of serving Vishnu and the Vaishnavas through the process of Sankirtan, which is the only means of deliverance for the people of this age. So how do we serve Vishnu and the Vaishnavas? Through the process of Sankirtan. That's how we serve. That's the topmost way of serving. And everything that we do in service should be accompanied by Kirtan. Otherwise, it doesn't produce a result. Everyone should follow the principles of such prayers by Name Ruchi, by having a taste for chanting the holy names, Jive Doya, showing compassion for other living entities, and Vaishnav Seva, serving the Vaishnavas. By using Dvivachan, the verb form for two, dual case, rather than Bahuvachan, the plural verb form, it is established that their preaching, mercy, and protection of Yuga Dharma is different from that found in the seminal succession. Yes, it's only referring to two, not anybody else. Only Gaur Nityananda. The arms of great personalities stretch to their knees, as indicated by the words Ajanu Lambita Bhujo. Whereas ordinary people's arms are not like that. Wonder where my arm goes to. I think it goes to the middle of my thigh. Shri Gaura and Shri Nityananda are both Vishnu Tattva who have appeared in this world. All the symptoms of great personalities were found in their transcendental bodies. It is stated in the Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata Adi Lila 3, chapter 3, verses 42 to 44. One who measures 4 cubits in height and in breadth by his own hand is celebrated as a great personality. Wait a second. One who measures 4 cubits in height and in breadth by his own hand. Interesting. Okay. Such a person is called Nyagrodha Parimandala. Wonder what that actually means. Nyagrodha Parimandala. Śrī Caitanya-Mahaprabhu, who personifies all good qualities, has the body of a Nyagrodha Parimandala. His arms are long enough to reach his knees. His eyes are just like lotus flowers. His nose is like a sesame flower. And his face is as beautiful as the moon. Do you want to see? I've always wondered what a sesame flower looks like. My friend Chandrasekhar actually showed me one time. But let me just find it. Sesame flower. Let's see what it means when it says, how do you spell sesame flowers? Sesame. Flower. Oops. Images. Okay, let's see what a sesame flower looks like. I guess it has this like little nose thing sticking out from the top. See that? See, there's like something sticking out there. Let's see. That's so interesting. Where's a better shot? Here's one. See, that kind of looks like a nose, doesn't it? Ooh, ooh, ooh. A really pointy nose. And so neat. Okay, can't find any better pictures. Yeah, anyways, you get the idea. Okay. The phrase Kanakavadato is explained as follows. Since they perform pastimes in the mood of devotees, their complexions are golden. Wait, okay, so what did we just read now? One thing I just want, the Bengali edition, I'm just showing you. It's a bit more clear in the Bengali edition what it's talking about. Where do I have it? I think I have it here. Liquid text. Yeah, there it is. It's helpful to have the Bengali edition open just for reference. Let me just, okay. All right. So just now we read through Ajanulambita. Now, okay, so this whole section was Ajanulambita, which we just read. Now we're going through Kanakavadato. The phrase Kanakavadato is explained as follows. Since they both perform pastimes in the mood of devotees, their complexions are golden. They are the Vishaya Vigraha, or shelter of all devotees. They are the source of all spiritual beauty, and they attract all living entities. And Kanakavadato means who have a golden complexion, right? Kanaka means gold, and avadato, I'm guessing, means complexion. Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Lord Nityananda is his personal manifestation, as stated in the Mahabharata Dan Dharma Vishnu Sahasranam Stotram, 149.92, 75.11. Suvarna Varna Hemango Varangaschardanangadi. This is Mahabharata proof about Mahaprabhu. In his early pastimes, he appears as a householder with a golden complexion. His limbs are beautiful, and his body, smeared with the pulp of sandalwood, seems like molten gold. Now we come to the word Sankirtanaika Pitaro, right there. The words Sankirtanaika Pitaro indicate that Śrī Gaur Nityananda are the inaugurators of the Śrī Krishna Sankirtan movement. Śrīla Kaviraj Gosvāmī has written in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 3, verse 76, as follows. Sankirtana Pravartaka Śrī Krishna Chaitanya Sankirtana Jagyatare Bhajeshe Dhanya. Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya is the initiator of Sankirtan, of congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. One who worships him through Sankirtan is fortunate indeed. Okay, so the word something interesting. It says Sankirtanaika Pitaro. They are the exclusive fathers, the progenitors, right? Fathers. Pita means father, right? Everybody knows that word. And so in the next verse, we'll see Namastrikala Satya Jagannatha Sutayacha Sabhritaya Saputraya. It talks about I offer pranams to Sri Krishna Chaitanya along with his putra, with his sons. And it explains that the son of Mahaprabhu is either his renunciate disciples or Sankirtan. So actually, even translating it as the fathers of Sankirtan, the fathers of Kirtan, is very accurate, because in the next verse it says that Sankirtan is his son. Okay, now we come to the word Vishvambar, or right here in the Bengali, Vishvambaro. By using the Dvivachan form of the word Vishvambar, both the Vishwarup and Vishvambar are indicated. All right, so this word Vishvambar is referring to Mahaprabhu's, I guess you'd say, biological brother. No, that's a horrible thing. Like, that doesn't sound very devotional to say that. But yeah, Mahaprabhu's brother, Vishwarup. That's both Vishvambar, Vishvambaro, who is also Nityananda. Vishwarup is actually a manifestation of Nityananda Prabhu, right? So Śrī Gaura and Śrī Nityananda are both Vishnu Tattva. And since they have distributed love of God to the world through the chanting of the holy names, they are known as Vishvambar. Okay, so Vishvambar refers to Vishwarup and Vishvambar, and it also refers to Nityananda and Vishvambar. And then it says, Śrī Nityananda and Śrī Vishwarup are one. Please refer to the Adi Kanda 447-49 of this book. Śrīla Kaviraj Gosvāmī has written in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila chapter 3 verses 32 to 33 as follows. In his early pastimes, he is known as Vishvambar because he floods the world with the nectar of devotion and thus saves the living beings. The verbal root dubrin, which is the root of the word Vishvambar, indicates nourishing and maintaining. He, Lord Chaitanya, nourishes and maintains the three worlds by distributing love of God. A reference to the word Vishvambar is given in the Vedas, the Atharva Veda, 2nd Kanda, 3rd Prapatak, 4th Anubhak, 5th mantra. And so the reference is as follows in the Atharva Veda. Vishvambhara Vishvena Ma Bharasa Pahi Svaha. Please preserve me by sustaining the universe, O Vishvambar, upholder of the universe. The word Dvija generally refers to Brahmanas, Kshatriya. Okay, so now that's Vishvambar. Now we come to Dvijavaro. Yes, Dvijavaro. The word Dvija generally refers to Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas who have undergone the purificatory processes. But here, the word Dvijavaro refers to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are dressed as Brahmanas and who have taken the role of acharyas. Only Brahmanas are meant to take sannyas because Kshatriyas and Vaishyas are not qualified. So according to ashram consideration, only Brahmanas are addressed as Dvijavar. Both Sri Gora and Sri Nityananda took the role of Jagat Guru Acharyas. And they taught devotional service of the Lord to the people of this world. Therefore, they are the crest jewels amongst the Brahmanas. In this incarnation, they did not consider themselves cowherd boys and perform pastime. Oh, this is an important point. In this incarnation, they did not consider themselves cowherd boys and perform pastimes like Ras Lila with any cowherd damsels, either in Gauḍīya Desha or in Orissa. If one wants to destroy the distinction between the Madhurya pastimes of Vṛndāvana and the Audarya pastimes of Navadvip, then he will commit rasa abhas and fall into hell due to the offense of opposing the conclusions of the author. The author, Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura and Ramananda Rai. The word Dvijavaro may alternatively refer to Dvijarajo, are the two full moons that have simultaneously arisen. Oh yeah, Dvi means two, Ja, born, right? So, and then Rajo means, so it means the two arisen Rajo, full moons. Interesting. All right, so yeah, there's Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura Prabhupāda gives so much emphasis to defeating Gauranga Nagaribad. Srivasu just showed me like a bunch of articles that he wrote on that topic. So we see this is something he strongly pushed against. It's interesting because here it says, if one wants to destroy the distinction between the Madhurya pastimes of Vṛndāvana and the Audarya pastimes of Navadvip, then he'll commit rasabhas and fall into hell due to the offense of opposing the conclusions of the author. So we are supposed to see the Navadvip pastimes and Vṛndāvana pastimes as being non-different, because Navadvip and Vṛndāvana are non-different. But by externally, there is definitely a difference between the Vṛndāvana pastimes and Navadvip pastimes, but in essence, like internally, in essence, everything, there's actually no difference. But yeah, anyways, I think this point's obvious to everybody. So okay, so now we completed the explanation of Dvijavaro. Now, where do we come to? We're at Yuga Dharma Palo. Okay, now the next part of the verse. Yuga Dharma Palo. The word Yuga a Mahayuga consists, a Kalpa, or day of Brahma, consists of 1,000 Mahayugas. Oh, it says my internet connection's unstable. Let me know if the internet gets too bad. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Send me a message if the internet's not stable. I'm just checking here on Restream. Looks like it's still running. Okay, good. The word yuga is explained as follows. A Mahayuga consists of 4,320,000 earthly years. A Kalpa, or a day of Brahma, consists of 1,000 Mahayugas. In this day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus, each of whom rule for 71 such yugas. A 1/10th portion of a Mahayuga is the duration of Kali Yuga. A 2/10th portion of a Mahayuga is the duration of Dwapara Yuga. A 3/10 portion of a Mahayuga is the duration of Treta Yuga. And a 4/10 portion of a Mahayuga is the duration of Satya Yuga. Okay, so Regarding the Yuga Dharma, the process of self-realization for Satya Yuga is meditation. For Treta Yuga is sacrifice. For Dwapara Yuga is deity worship. And for Kali Yuga is congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. This is as stated in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 12:352. Krite yad dhyayato vishnum tretayam yajato makai dvapare paricharyayam kalotad hari kirtanat. Kalotad hari kirtanat. Whatever results was obtained in Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dwapara Yuga by serving the Lord's lotus feet, can be attained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Elsewhere in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 12:351, it is stated. These are very famous verses. Kaler dosha nide rajan asti hyeko mahan guna kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajet. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. What is that good quality? Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. The Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 11:536 further states, Kalim sabha jayantyarya gunagya sarabhagina yatra sankirtane naiva sarvasvarto bhilabhyate. Those who are actually advanced in knowledge are able to appreciate the essential value of this age of Kali. Such enlightened persons worship Kali Yuga because in this fallen age, all perfection of life can easily be achieved by the performance of Sankirtan. And in Vishnu Purana 6:17, it is stated, Dhyayan krite yajan yagyais tretayam dvaparer chayan yad apnoti tarapnoti kalo sankirtake shavam. Actually, when I was living in the Jagannath Puri temple, Vāṅgalācaraṇa Prabhu, who's now Pradhan Maharaj, he made us learn all these verses. Whatever is achieved in meditation in Satya Yuga, by the performance of sacrifice in Treta Yuga, and by the worship of Lord Krishna's lotus feet in Dwapara Yuga, all this is obtained in the age of Kali simply by glorifying the name of Lord Keshav. Wow. That's amazing. The phrase Yuga Dharma Palo is described as follows. According to the scriptures dealing with karma kanda, or fruit of activities, the religious principle for the age of Kali is charity. But as the maintainers of Yuga Dharma, the two most magnanimous lords, Śrī Gaura and Śrī Nityananda, have inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 11.5.32 and also 10.8.9 says, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Hi Sumedasaha Asan Varnastrayo Hyasya Grinato Nu Yugang Tanu Shuklo Raktastata Pita Idanim Krishnatam Gata. Okay, so here's some Śrīmad Bhāgavatam evidence of Mahaprabhu. Your son Krishna appears as an incarnation in every millennium. In the past, he assumed 3 different colors, white, red, and yellow. And now he has appeared in a blackish color. This is spoken by Gargacharya during Krishna's grain ceremony. Wait, what did I say? I fell asleep while I was talking, kinda. Did I say grain ceremony? Because I didn't mean to say grain ceremony. Sorry. Oh, I need to sit up. Oh, that's so weird. I just okay. In another Dwapara Yuga, he appeared as Lord Ramachandra in the color of a shuka, of a parrot. All such incarnations have now assembled in Krishna. Yeah, that was Gargacharya speaking to Yashoda after the birth of Krishna. Srila Rupa Gosvāmī has offered his obeisances unto Sri Krishna Chaitanya Dev as follows. Namo, I just want to see where we are. Is it still? Okay. Okay, great. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who is more magnanimous than any other avatar, even Krishna himself, because he is bestowing freely what no one else has ever given, pure love of Krishna. In other words, magnanimity is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's characteristic, and distributing love of Krishna is his pastime. What is that in Bengali? Magnanimity is Mahaprabhu's characteristic, and distributing love of Krishna is his pastime. It says, Artat Mahavadanyatay Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Guna Evam Shri Krishna Prem Pradani Tahar Lila. Okay, so Mahaprabhu's gun is Mahavadanya, and his Krishna Prema Pradhan is his Lila. Srila Kaviraj Goswami has stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 8:15. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Koroho Vichar Vichara Korite Chitte Pabe Chamatkar. If you are indeed interested in logic and argument, kindly apply it to the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you do so, you will find it to be strikingly wonderful. Actually, that's not really what the Bengali is saying. There's nothing about logic and argument. And there's no if either. It says, okay, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Koroho Vichar. Koroho Vichar means just deliberate on the Daya of Shri Krishna Chaitanya. And then Vichara Korite, when you do this, when you deliberate on the Daya of Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Chitte Pabe Chamatkar. The Chitte, the heart, Pabe will get Chamatkar, astonishment. So the heart will be struck with wonder, basically. Just deliberate on the mercy of Śrī Krishna Chaitanya. By doing so, one's heart will be struck with wonder. Your heart will be struck with wonder. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written about this mercy as follows. Dayal Nitai Chaitanya Bole. Oh, Dakre Amar Man. I've never seen that. Dakre Amar Man. Dayal Nitai Chaitanya Bole. Dakre Amar Man. My dear mind, please chant the names of the most merciful Nitai Chaitanya. Actually, the charity given by Sri Gaura Nityananda is matchless, supreme, and unique. They are both maintainers of Yuga Dharma, the performers of Sri Krishna Sankirtan, and bestowers of unalloyed mercy. Okay, so now that was the explanation of the maintainers of Yuga Dharma Palo. Now we come to the next section. Where is it? Jagat Priya Karo. Jagat Priya Karo. The words Jagat Priya Karo indicate that Sri Gaura Nityananda are the benefactors of the universe. What does it say? They are Jagater Priyakari. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has written in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi 186 and verse 102 as follows. She dui jagatere hoya sadoi, Gaura deshe purva shoile, Korila udoy, E chandra surja dui parama sadoi, Jagater bhagye gode, Korila udoy. These two have arisen over the eastern horizon of Gauda Desh, West Bengal, being compassionate for the fallen state of the world. These two, the sun and moon, are very kind to the people of the world. Thus, for the good fortune of all, they have appeared on the horizon of Bengal. Okay, now the Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita, Adi 1-2, further states, Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sahodito Godo Daye Pushpavanto Chitro Shando Tamo Nudo. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Shri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Gauda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. So now we finished the section on Priya Karo, but it's interesting how both it's referring to the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon are Priya Karo, right? How did we translate Priya Karo? Actually, I'm curious how I translated it. I mean, how we translated it in the songbook. Priya Karo. Who are engaged in performing pleasing activities for the welfare of the world. And the sun and the moon is Priya Karo, right? It's like we get our sustenance from the sun and the moon. And so, right, there's different names like that for the sun and for the moon. And so therefore Gaura Nityananda, that's why it's describing this in this context, Priya Karo. All right, so now we come to the last section of this commentary. It says, regarding Karunavataro, that's the right here, Karunavataro, the two merciful incarnations. So regarding Karunavataro, which means the two merciful incarnations, Srila Rupa Goswami has written about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the introduction to his Vidagdha Madhav as follows. Anarpita charim chirat karunayavatirna kalo. He has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation ever offered before. Srila Kaviraj Goswami has written in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 5, verses 207 to 208 and 216. He says, Who in this world but Nityananda could show his mercy to such an abominable person as me? Because he is intoxicated by ecstatic love and is an incarnation of mercy, he does not distinguish between the good and the bad. The mercy of Lord Nityananda showed me Śrī Madan Mohan and gave me Śrī Madan Mohan as my Lord and Master. There's a beautiful explanation of Śrīla Gosvāmī Maharaj. He says that that Mahaprabhu does distinguish between good and bad. And so, like, Mahaprabhu is not going to he's not going to bestow his mercy on somebody who's like an alcoholic going crazy. Like, that's why he sends out Nityananda Prabhu, because Nityananda will go anywhere and everywhere. Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi. He has to, he has some etiquette that he has to follow. But Nityananda Prabhu, he's completely wild and free. And so we have some opportunity to get Nityananda, even if Mahaprabhu won't accept somebody, Nityananda will accept that person, and whoever Nityananda will accepts, Mahaprabhu will accept. So, yeah. So Nityananda does not distinguish between the good and the bad. I'm just curious what the Chaitanya Charitamrita, what the verses were. It says, Emon nagrina more keva kripa kori eka Nityananda binu jagata bitare. Prema matta Nityananda kripa avatar uttam adham kichu na kore vichar. Uttam or adham, na kichu na kore vichar. Nityananda doya more tare dekhailo Shri Radha Madan Mohane Prabhu kori dilo. Interesting. Wonder what that. Anyways, whatever. I'm going to continue on. All right. So that is the commentary, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupāda's commentary on the first verse. And now we come to the second verse. What time is it? Okay, it's 8:12. Namastrikala Satyaya Jagannatha Sutaya Cha Sabhrityaya Saputraya Sakalatraya Te Namaha. O my Lord, you are eternally existing in the past, present, and future. Namastrikala Satyaya. Okay, so on to the Satya of the three kala, of the past, present, and future. I offer my obeisances. Okay. Yet you are the son of Sri Jagannath Mishra, Jagannatha Sutayacha, and onto the son of Jagannath Sutta. Okay. I offer my repeated obeisances unto you, along with your associates, your devotee servants. So what is that? That is Sabhritaya, right? Yeah, your devotee servants, Sabhritaya, and your sons, which refers to your Gosvāmī disciples, or the process of devotional service, such as the congregational chanting of the holy name. So that's Saputraya. Your sons refers to the Gosvāmī disciples, the renunciates of Mahaprabhu, and also Kirtan, right? Because in the previous verse we read that. What was it? God, my brain went blank. Sankirtanaika Pitaro, the fathers of Sankirtan is Gaur Nityananda, and so Kirtan is his son, Saputraya, and also his renunciate disciples. And I offer pranam unto your consorts, who according to regulative principles refer to Vishnu Priya, who is Bhu Shakti, Lakshmi Priya, who is Shri Shakti, and Navadvip, which is Nila, Lila, or Durga. So that's according to the regulative principles. It's referring to Bhu, Shri, and Nila, which is Vishnu Priya, Lakshmi Priya, and Navadvip. Now, according to devotional principles, Sakalatraya refers to the two Gadadhars, it's Gadadhar Pandit and Gadadhar Das, Narahari Sarkar Thakur, Ramananda Rai, and Jagarananda, and others. So those are the Kalatraya, the consorts of the Lord, according to devotional principles, according to Ruchi. I think that's what the Bengali said. Actually, that's important. Let's see what the Bengali says here. If it's Ruchi. Rag Marge Shri Gadadhar Swarup. Oh. Anyways, whatever. I don't want to waste your time. Oh, there it is. Vidhi Vichare. So the first was Vidhi Vichare is Śrī, Nila, and Bhu, Śrī, and Nila, which is Vishnupriya, Lakshmipriya. That's Vidhi Vichare. And then the consorts is by Ruchi Vichare, by taste, by devotional principles. Interesting. It said devotional principles, but it says Ruchi, by taste. I guess that's by like rag, the path of rag, taste, attraction. It's Gadadhar Dvai, Narahari Ramananda, Jagadananda. Okay, sorry. I like to make sure I get everything before I move on. Okay, so now Gauḍīya Bhāṣya. In the second verse of the auspicious invocation, Śrī Caitanya-Mahaprabhu is addressed as follows. He is the absolute truth, existing in the past, present, and future, and therefore he is eternal. I offer my obeisances to Śrī Gaurasundar, the son of Jagannath, along with his servants, Sabhritaya, his sons, Saputraya, his consorts, Sakalatraya, and his associates. The word Jagannath Sutta is singular, so it refers only to Śrī Gaurasundar. Jagannath Mishra's other son, Śrī Vishvarup, or Shankararanya Swami, is not referred to herein, as Vishvarup took sannyasa in his childhood and had no disciples in the renounced order. Therefore, the later two adjectives of this verse, Sakalatraya and Saputraya, are not applicable to him. This is only referring to Mahaprabhu. Vishvarup has no Putraya or Kalatraya or any of those things. One may question how the word Saputraya can be applied to Śrī Gaurasundar. What does it mean that he has sons? Putra means sons. So I offer pranam unto Mahaprabhu's sons. In answer to this, it is to be understood that the Lord's renunciant Gosvāmī disciples are accepted as his sons. Okay, so the renunciates are Mahaprabhu's sons, Putra, and his household disciples are accepted as his servants. That's Swabhritaya. Mahaprabhu's Putra is the Gosvāmī disciples, renunciates, and his Bhritya, his servants, are the householder disciples. The renunciate sannyasis who belong to the Achyuta Gotra are considered the Lord's sons. In the beginning of his Upadeshamrita, Srila Rupa Goswami has established his followers as Tridandi sannyasis. They are actually the Lord's own family members. Sri Achyuta Prabhu, the son of Advaita Acharya, is the founding forefather of the Achyuta Gotra, and he is therefore addressed as Achyutananda. Whoa, because we refer to ourselves as Achyuta Gotra. Like that's, if you say, what is your family lineage? Vaishnavas, we say, what's your Gotra? We say, we're part of the Achyuta Gotra. But this is strange. I have a question here because it looks like this is referring to renunciates. Anyways, whatever. I'll have to find out about that. Maybe we can. The followers of the two Prabhus, Śrī Nityananda and Śrī Advaita, are the servants of their Lord, Śrī Caitanya-Mahaprabhu. Okay, so according to regulative principles, that was Vidhi Vichare, the consorts, so now it's explaining Kalatraya. We went through Bhritta, is the Lord's disciples as the householders, the servants of the Lord. And then Putra is the Lord's sons, who are referred to the renunciates, the Goswamis. And now we come to Kalatraya, which is the consorts of the Lord. According to regulative principles, the consorts of Śrī Gauranarayan are Vishnu Priya, who is Bhu Shakti, Lakshmi Priya, who is Śrī Shakti, and Śrī Navadip Dham, which is Nila, Lila, or Durga. According to devotional principles, it said Ruchi Bichari, right? Or no, I think here in the commentary it says Rag something. Anyways, whatever. Anyways, I'm not going to waste time. According to Rag, the consort, or Ruchi, the consorts of Śrī Gaur Govinda are Śrī Gadadhar Pandit, Śrī Gadadhar Das, Śrī Narahari, Śrī Jagadananda, Śrī Vakreshwar, Śrī Ramananda, Śrī Rupa Sanatan, and other Goswamis. Srila Kaviraj Goswami has written in his Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 7:14. One of them is Mahaprabhu, and the other two are Prabhus, These two Prabhus serve the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. So one of them is Mahaprabhu. Who are the two other Prabhus? One is Advaita Acharya, and the other is Nityananda Prabhu. Those are the two Prabhus who serve the Mahaprabhu. But why does it mention that here? I don't understand why this was brought up. Like, what does that have to do with the verse? I guess it didn't refer to, it described all of Mahaprabhu's associates except for Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya. So maybe that's why it's being explained there. So yeah, now this verse is so easy. Maybe we can memorize, if anybody is able to, you can try to memorize this verse as well. I offer obeisances to Trikala Satyaya, to the absolute, to the eternally, to you who are Satya, who are eternally existing, who is the truth, the absolute truth in the Trikal, in the past, present, and future. And unto Jagannath Sutayacha, who is the son of Jagannath Mishra. And who is accompanied by Vrittaya, by your servants, that's the Grahasta devotees of the Lord. Saputraya, to your sons, the Lord accompanied by his sons, who is the renunciant disciples of the renunciates, followers of the Lord. And to Sakalatraya, to all those, to the Lord's consorts. And then there's two considerations, right? There's the Vidhi Vichar and there's the Ruchi Vichar. Vidhi Vichar is Vishnupriya, Lakshmipriya, and Navadip Dham. And by Ruchi Vichar, it's referring to Gadadhar, Ramananda Rai, Rup Sanatan, Rakeshwar, like that. So that's the verse breaking down. Okay, now we move on to the third verse. Sorry, were you saying something? Okay. Avatirna sakarunyo parichinno sarishvaro Śrī Krishna Caitanya Nityanando do bhrataro bhaje. I worship the two brothers, Śrī Krishna Caitanya and Śrī Nityananda, who have descended in this world as the supreme controllers. They have appeared in covered forms as the embodiments of mercy. Gauḍīya Bhāṣya. The word parichinno indicates that the spiritual pastimes of the Swayam Rup, the original form of the Supreme Lord, and his Swayam Prakash, his first expansion, are full of spiritual variegatedness. Śrī Gaur Nityananda, or Śrī Krishna Balaram, are non-different, yet they have accepted two forms, as Swayam Rup and Swayam Prakash. Okay, so parichinno, what does the word parichinno mean, actually? Two unseparated parts, I think. Let me just check 1 second. Parichinno. Parichinno, I looked this up in the dictionary before. It means divided, detached, divided. Divided. Okay, so they're divided. It indicates, so how is that Supreme Lord divided? He's divided as Swayam Rup and Swayam Prakash. Swayam Rup is the original form, that's Krishna. And then Krishna's first Prakash, his first manifestation, is Baladev Prabhu. So there's Swayam Rup, Swayam Prakash. But this Swayam Rup and Swayam Prakash are non-different. And so that's what it means, parichinno. Interesting. Okay. Bhrataro means the two brothers. Sriman Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu did not play the role of seminal brothers. In order to establish that there is no difference between the pastimes of the Swayam Rup and Swayam Prakash, the transcendentalists address them as brothers out of spiritual consideration. So that's how we know that they're brothers, because one is Swayam Rup and the other is Swayam Prakash. Even though other people would say, oh, well, but Mahaprabhu was born from Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi, and Nityananda Prabhu is born from Rohini and Harai Pandit. But no, one is Swayam Rup and the other is Swayam Prakash, and so they're actually brothers. They're inseparable, just like Krishna and Balaram. Okay. Sajayati Vishuddha this fourth verse now. Sajayati vish. Oh, and one interesting thing about this verse, it's in the same meter as in Shikshashtakam. Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravashayitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahenami. It's the same kind of meter, I think. Yeah. So no, it's the same meter as God. It's one of the verses in the Shikshashtakam. Sajayati nadharmam no, whatever. Sajayati vishuddha vikrama kanakabha kamalayate kshana varajanu vilambishar bhujo bahudha bhakti rasabhinartaka. All glories to Śrī Gaurasundar, whose powerful activities are supremely pure, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold, whose eyes are like lotus petals, whose 6 beautiful arms extends to his knees, and whose heart is inundated by loving devotional sentiments as he enjoys dancing in various ways during kirtan. It's beautiful, huh? As he enjoys dancing in various ways during kirtan. Okay, Gauḍīya Bhāṣya. The phrase Bahuda Bhakti Rasa Bhinartaka is explained as follows. When the 5 direct rasas and 7 indirect rasas interact with one another, it is called Bhakti Ras. The object of attachment for the devotees situated in the 5 direct rasas, Śrī Gaurasundar, danced along with those who had taken shelter of him. So this is the verse about the Lord's dancing. I think, yeah, okay, let's continue on because we're out of time now almost. 3 more minutes. We can finish this in 3 minutes. Okay. Jayati Jayati Deva Krishna Chaitanya Chandro Jayati Jayati Kirtis Tasya Nitya Pavitra Jayati Jayati Bhrityas Tasya Vishvesha Murter Jayati Jayati Nrityam Tasya Sarva Priyanam. All glories to Śrī Krishna Chaitanya Chandra, who is the fully independent Supreme Personality of Godhead and the abode of transcendental pastimes. All glories to his eternally pure activities. Śrī Gaurasundar is the controller of all other controllers, the Lord of the universe, and the embodiment of transcendental knowledge. All glories to his devotees, and all glories to the dancing of his beloved associates. What is that? Jayati Jayati Nritam Tasya Sarva Priyanam. All glories to the Nritta of Tasya, of his Sarva Priyanam, all of his dear associates, all of his dear ones. I like that. The last verse glorifies the dancing of the devotees. Okay. Gauḍīya Bhāṣya. After Śrī Gaurasundar left Navadvip, his followers addressed him as Śrī Krishna Chaitanya Chandra, the predominating deity of Sambandha. Sri Rupa Gosvāmī has stated in his prayer, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Śrī Krishna Chaitanya, who assumes the golden color of Srimati Radharani. It is stated in the Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita, Adi 334. In his later pastimes, he is known as Lord Śrī Krishna Chaitanya. He blesses the whole world by teaching everyone the glories of Lord Śrī Krishna. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to move on, but I have questions here. Those who are achettanashraya, or devoid of spiritual consciousness, should not think that they can contaminate the teachings of Lord Gauranga simply by replacing Chaitanya Mangal with Gaura Mangal, or Caitanya-bhāgavata with Gaura Bhāgavata, or Chaitanya Charitamrita with Gauranga Charitamrita, or Chaitanya Chandrodaya with Gaura Chandrodaya. In Gaur Lila, the Lord has accepted the name Śrī Krishna Chaitanya in order to awaken the propensity of materialistic people who are achaitanya. They are devoid of spiritual consciousness. He wanted to awaken their propensity of these materialistic people who are achaitanya to develop their Chaitanya Dharma, That means the form of cultivating Krishna consciousness. Sorry, he wants them to develop Krishna consciousness. He also induced people who aspired for liberation to engage in the worship of Lord Krishna. Shri Gaurasundar is Mahabhadanya, most magnanimous, and Krishna Prema Pradata, the bestower of love for Krishna. These are his supremely pure eternal glories. All the devotees who are direct servants of Sri Vishvambar, the controller of the universe and the Lord of Goloka, are personally maintained by him and are therefore the owners of his entire wealth and opulence. Wow. The devotees who are the direct servants of Vishvambar are the owners of Mahaprabhu's entire wealth and opulence. All glories to the servitorship of Sri Sarup Damodar, Sri Ramananda, Sri Vakreshwar, and other beloved devotees who in the mood of gopis always glorify the Lord. Whoa. Okay, we're going to have to revisit this tomorrow because this is very mysterious. Why is it explained? Okay. Anyways, it's 8:30 now, so I got to stop. But we'll come back to this tomorrow and just look deeper into this because this looks really deep. And what is it? I want to try to understand this better. So anyways, we made it to the end. We wanted to read the Maṅgalācaraṇa. We finished. This is the Maṅgalācaraṇa of Caitanya-bhāgavata. And tomorrow we will review what we read, these 5 verses, and also we'll continue on from text 6. All right, so Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. All right, so Indira Mataji is asking, will I post the PDF? I can, yeah. Well, the thing is, I haven't finished making the PDF. Yeah, I could do it chapter by chapter. And then Vidya is asking, which verses are we going to read tomorrow? God, I did prepare it, but I have to look. I can mention in our WhatsApp group, the Caitanya-bhāgavata WhatsApp group. All right, so, oops, I forgot, I'm not sharing my screen. Anyhow, okay, I'm going to end with Jai Devani and then we'll offer pranam. And remember in the video, I said that we'll end at 8:35 every day, so I'm still on time. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupada Shatarashata Shishmad Bhaktisiddhānta Narayan Gosvāmī Maharaj Śrīla Gurudeva Ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupada Shatarashata Shishmad Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Bhaman Gosvāmī Maharaj Ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupada Shatarashata Shishmad Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupada Shatarashata Shishmad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupada Shatarashata Shishmad Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosai Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Bhagavat Śrīla Gaurkishora Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupada Shatarashata Shishmad Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosai Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Bhagavat Śrīla Gaurkishora Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura Ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Rupa Nagogoriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jeev Gopal Patadash Raghunath Shara Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākura Ki Jai, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vṛndāvana Dham ki jai, Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki jai, Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai, Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai, Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki jai, Śrīla Vṛndāvana Das Ṭhākura ki jai,
Jai ho.
Sarasvatī Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki
Jai
jai,
ho.
Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Koti
Jai ho.
Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai,
Jai ho.
Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai,
Jai ho.
Shri Nitai Gaur
Hari Hari Hari
Premanande
Bo. Gaur Hari Bo.
Vrindaye Tulsi Devai Priyaye Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatāya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. So I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm only 1 minute over time. Hare Krishna Kishore Krishna Prabhu. And I want, and Satya Mataji and Mani Manjari and everybody watching on YouTube and Facebook, Hare Krishna. Yeah, so as I mentioned in that promotional video thing I made, I would like these readings to be more interactive. And I know today I was just talking the whole time and I didn't give a chance for anybody to share anything or to discuss anything, but I need to figure this all out and get the proper rhythm and see exactly how much I'm able to read every day. And then I'll have enough time at the beginning and also at the end. And so, but yeah, I'm hoping that this program will develop more and more, and that we'll find something that works nicely to make it more interactive. All right, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna Kishore Krishna Prabhu and Satya
I have a question. Do you remember me?
Yes, of course. Obviously, yes.
Sometimes I don't know if you know which Kishore is watching you.
No, it has been a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you too.
I'll let you leave now.
Okay, Haribol. Nice to see your face. Hare Krishna, everybody. Dandavat pranams. Haribol, Satya Mataji.